Most people don't know how to learn in 2025, and it's only getting worse. I mean, now they think that ChatGPT or AI in general is gonna make learning non-existent. They think that they can just ask ChatGPT to do everything and skip the whole hard work entirely. Some are even choosing not to read anymore because AI can give them the same amount of information in less time. One thing that you fail to realize is that the way that you learn in school is actually sabotaging you in the real world. You're learning way too slow, while the world right now is moving at light speed, and that's not just ineffective in today's world, but that's also career suicide. I mean, are you still memorizing answers for tests? That's kinda completely useless when the world changes every 6 months. Are you still consuming endless content without applying what you've learned? That's mental masturbation, leaving you exactly where you are. While you're taking months trying to master what others figure out in weeks, the world and opportunities continue to fly by you. While there's people out there who are completely avoiding AI, and there's others who are just automating their brain and instead letting AI think for them, there's a small group of people out there who are using it to compress years of learning into weeks. And if you can learn faster, you can achieve success that much faster too. A lot of people think that AI is just a simple productivity tool, but in reality, AI is not just a productivity tool. When you know how to use it properly, you can outlearn people with decades of experience. You can stack skills faster than they can master one. And no, AI won't make you dumber unless you let it make you dumber. You see, because we're not trying to replace our brain with AI, or at least I hope you're not trying to do that. Instead, we're trying to use AI as our 24/7 learning partner. A learning partner that never gets tired, never complains, never judges you, and gives you instant feedback. Those who make significant progress moving forward from today are going to be those who use AI to their advantage. And one of the ways you can start is by using AI to help you learn 10 times faster and better. And that's what I'm going to go over in this video. And by the end of this video, you're going to learn the strategies that you can use to help you learn 10 times faster while others still stay stuck in the same old ways. The brutal truth about the real world, and it's one of the things that I actually agree with that we were taught in school, is that if you can't learn, you can't thrive. It's that simple. The world is moving quicker than ever, and those who fail to learn or fail to learn quick enough are going to be the ones that are left behind in the dust. Just think about it. 3 years ago, AI wasn't a thing that we can easily access. We weren't even, thinking about AI. It wasn't even mainstream. And now almost everyone knows about AI, and we can easily access it and program it to do literally just about anything. 3 years ago, most people's jobs were secure, and now millions are at risk of being replaced by AI, according to Goldman Sachs. The problem is most people still think that learning is about endless consumption of information, but learning is not only about consumption, it's about transformation. I mean, did you actually learn anything if nothing in your life has changed? I mean, if I go to a boxing gym and all I'll do is sit there and watch others box without me ever throwing a punch, am I actually learning how to box? If I buy a book on business, but I don't actually build a business myself, am I actually learning about business? You can see the problem now, right? You can see that passive consumption doesn't teach you anything. I mean, all you get is endless dopamine hits. It's mental masturbation at its finest. You feel good in the moment, you feel like you're making progress, but that's because you grow up in the school system being taught that learning and making progress is about devouring textbooks and acing tests. But that's not how the real world works. The old ways of learning just doesn't work anymore. Real progress isn't measured by how much you know, but by how much your life has changed from what you applied from the knowledge you had. Traditional learners passively consume, but modern learners build. But now with AI, modern learners are not just building, they are building and learning at 10 times the speed. AI is like having the smartest person right next to you. It has all the knowledge in the world stored in its system. Now when you have a question, you won't go through an endless rabbit hole of having a bunch of tabs in your Google trying to find the answers. With AI, you literally get the answer to your question in seconds. And of course, this leads people to believe that AI in the long run will make people dumber, because they believe that they will just give everything to AI and they won't practice any real world skills. But in my opinion, it all depends on how you use it. You see, AI won't make you dumber unless you stop thinking completely and let AI do all the thinking for you. In this case, then yeah, your critical thinking muscles will atrophy and you will eventually lose IQ points. The way I view it, AI is not meant to replace your brain, although there are people out there who wish that would eventually happen. AI is meant to be your creative partner, someone that can be beside you to help you enhance and basically help do your work 10 times better. Because right now, we live in the information economy. The world changes quick, and it changes almost every 6 months. In a world that rewards adaptability, the fastest learner always wins. With AI, modern learners don't just consume faster. They build faster, apply quicker, and evolve in real time. And that's the new way of moving forward. And here's exactly how you can start doing that. Most people know that learning is critical to staying ahead of the game. I mean, we are taught this in school. If you do not learn, you do not adapt, which means that you do not thrive. But what many people forget is that there's a crucial step that needs to be taken before before you become a learning machine. You see, most people rush into learning without a clear direction. They read a ton of books, like for instance self-help books, that has zero connection to the life that they actually want to live. And I'm actually speaking from experience because I was a victim of this. You see, in the beginning when I first started reading books, I was reading whatever type of books I could get my hands on, especially when it came to self-help, because I was told that reading self-help books is better than not reading any book at all. And so I started reading a ton of books that I didn't realize at that time it wasn't the type of books that I should have been reading at that time. I mean, there were good books that I could have read later on, but at that time I should have been reading different books that were something that applied to what I was currently living through at that moment. And so I was spending money and I was spending time reading books that I believe I shouldn't have been reading at that point in my life. If I would have had a clear target or goal, I would have had a better idea of the books and YouTube videos I needed to watch. Learning without a goal in mind is blind learning. The danger of blind learning is that it becomes a distraction and mental masturbation. If you don't know why you are learning something, then you're just going to be going in circles, not really arriving anywhere. You won't be making progress towards any direction, basically, because you cannot learn effectively if you do not know why you are learning that thing to begin with. Without a clear goal, there's no urgency, there's no motivation, and there's no clear way to measure progress. You stay stuck in information mode while others are taking action, and you believe that you're making progress, but that's because you're still stuck in the old ways of thinking that learning means you're growing. Learning does not equate to growing unless you are applying what you've learned. But how can you put it into action if you do not know why in the first place? The first step is to define why you are trying to learn, or what the actual end goal is, what you are trying to achieve, because this creates an aim for your learning. Only then does learning become focused, fast, and effective, not mental masturbation. Think about what you are trying to achieve in life, and then think about this: what life are you running towards and what life are you running away from? Write it down on paper or on your favorite notes app. Have zero limitations. Don't think about the how, just think about what you want and what you don't want. Now create 3 goals that you can accomplish in the next 90 days that will help you get closer to that life that you're running towards. You're giving yourself 90 days, which is 3 months, to give you a deadline, which is another essential component when it comes to learning fast. This gives you a sense of urgency, which will help you become an intentional learner and to take action. And by the way, you can use AI to help you do this. Copy and paste the ultimate goal setting coach prompt that I created into ChatGPT. I created a video going over this and how it works, which you can check it out right here. It will help you craft your vision, create your 3 goals for the next 90 days, and build a system of high impact levers you need to move to make those goals a reality. Now that you have an aim to guide your learning, you need to make sure that you avoid making this huge costly mistake that many people make. You see, you can still fall to mental masturbation even while knowing why you are learning something. Many people call this analysis paralysis. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it before. It's basically someone who is stuck in a consumer state because they believe that they need to know everything, they need to have all the answers to the questions before they take any sort of action. And analysis paralysis is one of the most dangerous states to be in. In this state, your mindset is that you'll start only until you have all the answers to your questions. But the problem is that once you have the answers to your current questions, you're going to come up with more questions and you won't start until you get the answers to those questions now. And all this does is delays the most important part about growth, which is doing. Now, whether you're conscious of it or not, most of this stems from fearing failure. Now, here's the exact process that has helped me avoid and escape this dangerous trap whenever I fall into it. The first thing is to accept that you're going to make mistakes. Just look around you. Everything was successfully created because of mistakes that were eventually corrected. Just think of anything that you currently use at this moment. Your car, your computer, your phone, your TV, and you'll find that every single one of them had to go through countless mistakes that were eventually corrected for it to eventually lead to its full completion. A great way to reframe the way you view mistakes is to look at it the way Thomas Edison looked at it when he was failing countless times trying to invent the electric light bulb. I have not failed. I have successfully found 10,000 ways that will not work. If you install this mindset in your brain, only then will you get one step closer to escaping this nasty trap. The second thing to do is to follow what I call the action lock protocol. Now here's how you follow it. In the beginning, you are allowed to read one book, watch one video, and buy one course or mentorship, or attend one seminar. Once you finish taking in the information from whichever resource you chose, you are then locked into action mode, which means that you cannot learn any more new information until you put into action what you have already learned. You are allowed to go over that resource that you learned from, like you can reread that book, you can rewatch that course or that video, but you can't do anything more than that until you take action. Only when you face a problem while you're taking action are you allowed to learn new information, because that new information can help you solve that problem, which is only going to help you learn more and grow faster. This, my friends, is how you truly learn at speeds you've never experienced. If you already read a book about habits, Don't go buying another book about habits. If you already watched the video about how to build an AI automation, don't go watching another video about a separate one if you haven't even built that one that you just watched. Take action because you already know enough. For instance, I learned how to build my first AI automation not from watching countless videos, but by actually building it myself. When I had a problem I couldn't solve, I then went online to search for the solution, but I didn't go searching for a solution to a problem that I didn't yet have in front of me. I created this protocol because I found myself getting into this nasty habit of learning more and more and never actually applying what I've learned, only to realize that I was truly learning the best and making the most progress when I started taking action and fixing problems along the way. I'll finish this step with a post that I wrote not long ago. There are people dumber than you who are making more money simply because while you're overthinking everything, they are taking quick and perfect action. They are shortening the gap between idea and execution, and you're widening it. You were taught the wrong way of learning in school. You were taught the importance of memorization and memorizing the answers so that you can ace the test. But let me ask you this. Do you remember most of the stuff that you spent hours memorizing in school? Most likely not. But you want to know who remembers everything? Your teacher. And no, it's not because they spent years memorizing textbooks and acing tests in college. They memorized everything because they spent most of their time teaching the subject to you and your classmates. This phenomenon is called the protege effect. Basically, teaching others helps you learn the material better, and teaching others works because you have to organize and simplify ideas to explain them. Teaching forces recall and retrieval information, strengthens memory. You're more motivated to understand something when you are going to teach it, and it exposes gaps in your knowledge, and you'll close the gap by truly understanding more. So now, knowing this, start teaching others. Teach your friends, teach your siblings, teach other people around the world through social media like Twitter, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. In a way, the newsletters that I write and the videos that I produce has been a great way for me to learn much better and to retain information much more effectively, because I teach others what I've learned through information that I have consumed or from experience and progress that I have made. I'll finish this step with another post that I wrote not long ago. Passively consuming books or videos 10 times won't stick. Your brain craves more. Here's a better way to retain information. Teach what you've learned. Teach it to anyone, people you know or people you don't know, through content. Teaching forces mastery. Is your mind's most powerful retention hack. Now, what if you had a tutor that was with you to help you learn much better and help you retain information faster? Except this tutor has no days off, doesn't get tired, is always available, and is able to give you summaries of the information that you just learned. It can even ask you questions on the knowledge and let you teach it and expose the gaps in your knowledge, which will help you learn much better. That's what this AI prompt that I created does. I call it the patient tutor. All you have to do is give it the book you just read, or even deeper, the chapter you just read, the video you just watched, or any topic you are learning, and it will give you a detailed summary, key insights to take away from, and ask questions to see if you know the subject, and even let you teach what you know and expose the gaps in your knowledge. At the end, you can ask it to give you actionable steps you can take to put the information to work. It will help you learn information you are having trouble understanding, and you can ask it to explain it to you in simpler terms. I use this prompt every time I finish watching an educational video or finish reading a chapter of a book. Look at what it says when I tell it I just finished reading laws 35 and 36 of the book, The 48 Laws of Power. Now you can grab this prompt and many more for free down below. I still read even though I know that AI can give me the same amount of information faster. I know that many people are going to be using AI the wrong way. They're going to replace their brain with it and remove critical thinking. Sooner or later, their critical thinking muscles will atrophy, and that is going to become a huge problem. And I know that a major way that I'm going to differentiate myself from others is by retaining and strengthening my critical thinking muscles while also using AI to my advantage. This way of learning is what I've been following now that I run an AI automation agency. In an industry where so many things are advancing quickly, new LLM models are coming out, new platforms with tools that use AI are coming out. Learning and acting quick puts you at a massive advantage. But this doesn't just apply to me though. It applies to everyone, because like I said in the beginning of this video, if you do not learn, you do not thrive. And those who learn and adapt will always thrive. You can start giving yourself an edge by learning faster and better in a world that rewards that by taking all that I laid out in this video just now and applying it. But there's one thing that you shouldn't forget. You see, AI is not only about automating tasks that can help you save time, save money, or even help you learn faster, which is what I talked about in this video. It can also help you improve your life faster. That's why I made this video right here where I talk about how to use AI to help you improve your life 10 times faster than anyone. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. I'm out.